Hello, everybody. Welcome to the podcast. If you're new here, my name is Arlene. I'm your host for tonight. And in this podcast, I do conversations with inspiring Filipinos in the hope of inspiring kababayans as well. And tonight, I am joined by a friend who took no for an answer. Like, he really strived harder to really accomplished his dream, and let's hear it straight from her. Let's welcome Sarzy. Hello,
Hi,
sis.
hi sis.
Thank you so much. I am very happy to have you tonight here on my channel. By the way, this is a live conversation, everybody, both in Facebook and on YouTube. So I encourage everyone to interact with me and Sarzy in the comment section because at some point during our conversation, we will check your comments, and if you have questions, Sarzy and me will answer it live. All right, without any further ado, Sis Sarzy, can you share a little about yourself to kick off the conversation? Your name, your age, profession, how many years that you have lived in America, and where are you from originally?
Yeah, sure. First of all, I would like to say thank you for having me here on your channel. It's really an honor. Actually, it's my first time experience to have a live conversation like this. So thank you so much. Actually, I'm kind of little nervous. Yeah, but I think this opportunity, it's really good. We didn't meet in person yet, but of course, I felt like the connection. So this is really a good start, I
Thank you,
guess.
sis.
So without further ado, my name is Sarah. I was raised and born from the Philippines, particularly in Cebu. I'm a province girl. I'm a province girl. I am 34 years old, and I came here um, in US last 2018. So I'm about 5 years here already, and I am currently working in a retail store as an assistant manager.
Wow, congratulations, sis, sis Sarah. So, Sarah, Sarzy. So, but I call her Sarzy.
Yeah, my real name actually is Sarah, but I got my name Sarzy because most of my college friends they called me like Sarzy, Sway, something like that. So and it
Oh,
happened I'm gonna like it, so I use it
yeah.
like as my nickname.
I see. So sis, so you have a really beautiful life now in America, but what other people don't know about you was that you had a very, I would say, interesting life in college and how you were able to get your diploma. So can we can you please tell us your life as a student, as a college student, and yeah, your struggles at that time.
Yeah, actually, I'm looking back, like those experiences, actually I'm glad I did it. It was a long journey. It's not an easy journey. Maybe some other students, they are more privileged than me. So back then, um, there's a lot of challenges come along the way, more than I thought. But this desire, you have that desire in your life, like you really wants to pursue your study, that keeps me going despite of the challenges or hardships in life. Because as I said, I was not born from a privileged family, but still I am very grateful, um, my parents, um, I witness how they work so hard and prioritize for their children. And we are a big family, actually. So it's kind of common, right, in the Philippines. Like
Yeah.
mostly, like they have many children compare here in America. So I am the middle. in the family. So it's something that at early age it happened that I understand the family situation, that I'm aware already because my parents, they are very vocal that they are trying so hard. At least all of us were finished high school. Like
Mhm.
that's their goal, because my father, he really, he's kind of ambitious and wants a better future for all of us, and he felt sorry about it.
Mhm.
I don't want to be emotional. And he felt sorry about it, especially like he's not really vocal all the time, but when there's some instances that he needs to, he that's the time that he let us know. So if everything went wrong, because he's very disciplinarian father,
Uh-huh.
and a very hardworking one, and very faithful, like he's the one introduced to all of us to put God in the center of your lives anytime. So that's the thing that he always instilled to us. So that time, like, like when they're, like my father always told us, like he don't want us to experience, like, like in the long run, like them, like
The
struggle,
hardships, yes.
the hardships. He
Mhm.
said, like, as much as possible, like, do you want like your life like this? Like he really guide us to be to always choose the right thing. Like, so. And I realized, like,
And
he's right, because I'm in the middle. So I've noticed, like, my other siblings like that, and then everything went wrong to them. The first person who really disappoint of what they did, I saw the frustration of my father, and it's really heartbreaking. And then on myself, I said, like, I know I'm not perfect. I made mistakes too, of course, but I trying my best. Like, at least I don't, like, to give him another disappointment, because I think he don't deserve it for all the hard work he did. So that's all, like, I keep thinking. So
uh-huh.
in the early age when I'm studying, I was thinking, this is only my way to give back to my parents. I make sure I give my best. I give my
Yeah.
all to my studies, so that at the end of the year, this is kind of feel a little, at least a little rewarding to my parents, that it's worth it, that gives them a little uh push too, like something that they did, it's worth it. Because when you see your grades, of course, like, your parents, they are kind of happy,
Yeah.
like
Like
I can.
after the long hard day at
Yeah,
work, and then they would say it's all right, everything's all right because in a way my daughter Sarzy is doing well in school,
yeah,
which
so.
you did this because you
Mhm.
graduated valedictorian in high school.
I know, but because I think another way that I push it harder, aside that my inspiration, like, to give back to my parents, like, I know that that's only the way, like, when
Yeah.
you push harder to college, especially you're not the came from the privileged family, like, you get an advantage
Mm-hmm.
to take this
Scholarship.
scholarship.
Yes.
To take this scholarship, and I knew that, like, there's some different universities will go to your school, and
Mm-hmm.
I know it's kind of tough, like, to, like, to take that, to take that step, like, I need to, to be an achiever. And I think
Uh-huh.
they're only, like, give that one to, I think, like, only for valedictorian to get a full scholarship, because if you
Correct.
are salutatorian, or the second top achiever in the class, you only get half, if I remembered it right.
Yes, yes. There's a certain percentage. Valedictorian gets 100% scholarship, and then salutatorian, I think 80 or
Oh,
60.
something like that. It's
Yeah,
not full. So
it's not
I know
full.
already the capacity of my parents, because they're very vocal about it, But some of my siblings, they send it to vocational, and I know, like, like, something, like, it doesn't mean that I don't like it, but I was thinking, like, probably I can do more, more than that, like,
Yeah.
like, because maybe because I knew I put extra effort on my studies, so it's my goal. At least I'm gonna try what's a college life like, not just like a high school or vocational. Because at that time, there's none of my siblings yet like experience, and then I'm more curious, like because they always told us,
Mm.
high school is more fun, and then college is this, like you learn some things or like that, but it's not easy. So I'm kind of curious, and then I want like, oh, like our life is like this, like there's nothing changed so far, because maybe the pattern is the same.
Uh-huh.
So it's the same. So maybe if I will do something, because you will aware too, like your teacher, like when you're in school, they always tell like, oh, you need to be good in school, and after you graduate you can land a job, and then that's kind of your goal, because even
Yes.
our parents told us that one too.
Uh-huh.
That's why even we're poor, poor family, it's not like my parents idea that in your young age you can be a babysitter to earn some money, or you can be a nanny, something like that. It's not really their idea. Even they're how you call this, striving so hard in daily lives, but they want us to focus on our study, because they don't want us like, oh, you learn to earn money and then you forget it. You forget
Yeah.
your school. So do you want like your
To dream
school,
big.
yeah, dream big in school first, and that's your
Mm-hmm.
duty. So it seems
Yeah.
like your duty. So it's up to you if you take it seriously. So that's what I did, and then I'm so happy at the end of the year. I get this scholarship, and then I'm thinking, I think they can find another ways, because like this all they gonna worry is the allowance.
Correct.
They don't worry like the
Vision.
tuition. So maybe this is my chance. I have a big chance, like I can experience a college life, and I pray for that. Because I know still I have like younger siblings that it's more priority, like their school, because they're not finished high school yet.
Uh-huh.
So I'm blessed because I have our older sister, like she's the second in the second siblings, and then she's very generous, like even like she's not like, how you call this, like she's still helping my parents as well, but she volunteered. She said like, you deserve this, and I am willing to give your allowance
Uh-huh.
and go to school like that, because ever
Mm-hmm.
since she's very supportive, like I will help you, and then everything, just focus on your school. So I did that, but unfortunately I didn't make I didn't make it. I failed. I
Yeah, so you did not maintain the grade that they require for you to have the scholarship,
Yeah,
correct?
because if you need to keep up that grade, I think one something, I forgot.
Mm-hmm. Per subject.
Per subject, it's not like average. Even you hit the average, because I still hit the average one
Mm-hmm.
something, but unfortunately I think I have two subjects that I failed to maintain that grade. So
Yeah.
unfortunately, like you cannot,
Yep, yeah, you cannot continue as an academic
continue.
scholar.
You
So how
can
did you take it, Sir Sarsi? Being somebody who was an achiever in high school and then in college, you were, yeah, that you were at that predicament that you cannot continue as an academic scholar because you did not pass the required grade. How did you take it?
at first,
Uh-huh, at
actually
first.
it's kind of hard. I felt embarrassed. Like I said, oh, I'm not good enough. Like that's
Yeah.
what my thought. I think, oh, I felt like I'm kind of ashamed to tell my parents, because it seems like they have a, how I call this, oh my god, emotional. They have an expectations, like you can
I
make it,
I can
like it seems
totally
like they're
relate to.
happy, like
Uh-huh.
you finally, like they have a daughter, like try to be in university, because they know at first that's what I really want, and then I feel that one, and then I
Yeah.
have a hard time how to approach or to tell them that I didn't make it, like
Uh-huh.
this is what happened, like that. And then my especially to my sister, who helped me too, because she
Correct.
thought I can make it all the way.
Mm-hmm.
So I felt so sad, but But my father, like, I think he understand, and then he told me like, I felt so sorry. I know like you really want to go to school, but you know already from the start that there's no way like I can help you. So I think like I accepted it, and then my I have a next plan. I said like, oh, I've heard some of my classmates, they work in the fast food chain,
Mhm.
and and that's their way, go to school as a working student, and I think I can do that. So I tried, but I don't know, maybe that's not aligned for me. I guess because they don't contacted me. I tried
Mhm.
to, like famous or popular fast food chain back home, but
Mhm.
it doesn't work for me. So um, it's like an unplanned, like I land to a job, but of course
Mhm.
I prayed for I prayed for it, but I don't expect I land in that kind of job because it's not in my, like, in my knowledge that okay, I'm gonna do or apply this. It's not my intentional, like I applied this kind of job. It just happened that I had a board mate, like,
Uh-huh.
I think he's a guard, and then I don't expect because we don't talk much because he's a guy, and then I'm not that comfortable really talking,
Yeah.
a guy board mate, or
Uh-huh.
I'm kind of introvert, especially you're in the province and then just move to the city.
City. Uh-huh.
I have a different, personality, like more private and shy. So he just only start conversation when he saw me, like I did laundry, cleaning
Uh-huh.
our boarding house because my
Uh-huh.
sister they are working. So it seems like it's me who did like the chores for them
Uh-huh.
or cooking like that. And then it just happened like in that restaurant where he's working as a guard, and then they need someone like a
Uh-huh.
proxy, just a proxy, like because someone
Ah.
get pregnant. And in the Philippines, if someone get pregnant, they have a 3 months, 3 months
Maternity leave.
maternity leave.
Yeah, maternity leave.
So they need someone to, for that spot or her position, like as a food attendant or a server. But it's a Japanese restaurant. I said, what? Japanese restaurant? No way. And he keeps calling to our landlady to go and knock on my, boarding house and let me like go to that restaurant and pass my resume and application. I said, no, like I cannot because like, I'm gonna apply another job. And then she went back again because he keeps bugging her, our
Uh-huh.
landlady, that I need to stop because he recommended me to the boss. Like he
Uh,
found someone like he thought it's a good person and hardworking.
yeah.
So because of that landlady, because she's kinda older and I don't want her to keep back and forth in their house and back to my boarding house, and then I felt so like Ashim, oh my god, like she keeps like coming, like, walking
Yeah.
from their house, and here I said, okay, I will. Okay, I will, thank you. I'm like, so I decided on that day that I will stop by, and then that's how it started, that I worked there. But I thought it's just only 3 months, but the first time, like, it's your first job experience, and I cannot relate everything, like, as in everything, but I still choose to keep going. Like I said, the next day I felt like, my shoulder, like, it seems like I felt like a bird, and like I'm not happy because I said, oh my god, they communicate like Japanese, and the way how Japanese people like speak English, like, it's hard for me to understand.
Understand.
Like example, like their water, like water, like what are you talking, is that Japanese or English? Like, I cannot understand. And then other, they do have very small English, and then we don't have that
Uh-huh.
really proper training too. And then I just turned 18 years old, so I was like thinking like, oh my god. And then all of my coworkers, they're working there for a long time, and then our age gap, and I felt like I'm the youngest one, so
Uh-huh.
I cannot relate, and I'm so shy. So I'm just more observing what's happening. And then, not that I thought like the manager like decided to keep me,
Oh.
even the other one like back. And then there was I think an employee in other branch. Like supposedly she's a probie already because in the Philippines, if you're in 6 months,
Probationary period.
yeah,
Uh-huh.
probationary period, right? And then they decided to kick her out and replace me.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I was surprised because I thought, okay, this is only 3 months, so I think I need to learn that kind
Uh-huh.
of like a job, like a work experience, I guess. Like because when I start like earn some money, I don't know what to do when I was 18 years old. Like I said, like, oh my god, I earn like a salary, so what am I gonna do with this one? Do I give this one all to my parents? Because I don't have really like a desire for myself, like. Oh,
But
like
how about that dream of going back to school?
yeah, I that's why like like because at first when they said proxy, I thought like it's not a stable one. Like this is not the
Ah,
thing like can
that
support
will.
my
Gotcha.
study because my mindset is only 3 months.
Uh-huh,
So
uh-huh.
this money is not enough. So after this I need really to find another job like that for a like something that can
For
support
long
my
term.
for a
Yes.
long term that can support my study. So that's why I'm gonna thinking like, oh, what I'm gonna do with this money. Like because I know this is not for long. This is only for 3 months. Maybe this is the time that I will give some to my parents or like that.
So
So
what did you do?
so I did like, oh, this is the first salary. I think I felt good if I give you know to my parents like a treat, like because
Uh-huh.
I got this. So that's what I did. And then when they decided to keep me and kick out the other one, like it was a big kind of like a big news to me because my plan kind of changed right away. Like I said, like, oh, they're gonna keep me, like for long. So maybe I'm kind of regular after 6 months or like that. And then they did. I got like a regular, like as a regular worker. So that's how like I opened my parents again. That oh, remember you told me that there's a way that I can I can go back school if I find a job, and I think this is it. I think I
Mm-hmm.
find a job, and then my parents said like, no, sorry, is that okay? Like I said, why? I thought like this is the time, like
Yeah.
and they told me like because it happened. Unfortunately, my father like lost his job. It was very unfortunate that he lost his job to the time, and then I
Mm-hmm.
have some siblings that's still continuing in their school, and then
Yeah.
I think my sister who helped me the time, she's married already too,
Mm.
so there's need someone to help in the family. So
Okay.
and then my mother said your father almost how you call this, like a social security, like a pension,
Uh-huh.
something like that, after 2 years. So I think that's a good time that you know you can go school.
But they're
And
saying you have to wait for 2 years.
I need to wait for 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
And and when my father started talking to me too, because I'm kind of not like agree with my mother the time. That's
Yeah.
why my mother trying to open up to my father about our conversation. And then when my father, the one who start talking, I cannot say no because I know like he's working so hard in the family, and I know already deep inside I know that he's really ambitious, but it happened when he's the one talked to me already. I'm kind of understand,
So
and
you conceded. You said, okay, I will
I
not.
said okay, like
Uh-huh.
I understand.
Uh-huh.
So I kind of like sacrifice, like I need to wait, I need to be patient for my own goal, for my personal goal. Okay, just to help my the family, like so that
Uh-huh.
younger siblings, they can continue school too, because
Yeah.
that's how usually in the Philippines, like it's helping each other. So
Yep.
I completely understand that one. So and I said, okay, this is my time to like saving some money after 2 years. I don't give everything for them. I'm
Mm-hmm.
still, and I
You
said
kept
like
something for yourself.
I keep something for myself, like like save some because I'm aware already like how much the tuition, like that,
Uh-huh.
like everything,
Uh-huh.
the expenses. So I need to set aside as well for this span of years, and I take it like I think this is good time too, that I don't need to rush myself, and I focus the work and do well in my work because this is my first job experience as well.
Uh-huh.
So after that, like, everything went well on my work, and I have saved some money like that I think I can enroll, and like I think I can, like, whatever expenses or miscellaneous in school, I felt like I can do it by my own without
Yeah. Without.
assisting parents, because like you have set aside some money, and at the same time, like you continue earning, because I don't have a plan to quit that job. My
Mm-hmm.
plan is still like do my full-time job. and then
Yeah.
and then the nice thing, like when you're working in the restaurant, that I realized like it's better than in the factory or something. You can get like a tips aside from your salary.
Ah, yeah, that's right.
And then aside from that, that company, I don't know, I'm just appreciate simple things, because I know other company didn't provide a free meal. But that restaurant, they provide like a free meal, like a lunch and dinner
Mm-hmm.
for the employees. So
Oh, that's nice.
my expenses, like, like I save already, like, and
Yeah.
I don't need to work overtime just to have an extra money than the 8 hours, because I
Uh-huh.
have tips.
Correct.
And like, it's a centralized tips, but if some customer coming in and they want to give you like a personal tip
Like a
aside from the
uh-huh, uh-huh.
centralized, that's for you, that's the rule. So that's for
Ah,
you. And then I was so blessed, like, anyone, most of it, like,
they
most
give
of
you a
the
lot of tips.
most of the customer, I got, like, like tips, like a generous tips, like,
Uh-huh.
so which that helps me too, because other, like, thinking like, oh, it's kind of impossible, you're how, like, it's, like someone like said, oh, I think someone's supporting her, like making this,
Mm.
like
Yeah, making
a
this sneaky
story,
comment
yeah,
story about you and how
about
you're
me.
able to. I get that. I get
But
that kind of. Mhm.
I know she's helping her, like, her family, and how that possible that she can,
Support her
support.
education plus supporting her
Mm,
family.
I think they
Probably
really
she has a sugar daddy, something like that.
exactly. Exactly, sis. Like, I've been on that, I think they
Uh-huh.
are the sugar daddy, like, but you cannot hear that straight to your face.
Of course, it's
You can
always
just
when
hear
you're.
by somebody else, like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, she told me like this and like this.
Uh-huh.
Me, I'm
So how
not
did you
really,
react? How did you
and
respond?
yeah, me, I'm not really like good in, confrontation now,
Confrontation.
because
Uh-huh.
as much as possible, I don't want like to have a conflict any of my um colleagues or coworkers. But I think for me, like, it's too much. They're kind of like dig in my personal, which is not true.
Right.
Which is not true. So I tried, like, at first, like, kind of get close to that person, and
Uh-huh.
I kind
Uh-huh.
of like, not direct, but I said it like, I don't understand why really people, like, they are curious with some people lives, and they cannot tell it straight to their face.
Oh.
But I don't tell like, hey, I've heard like not really like
No,
an
no, 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 not
attacking
not confront.
style,
Yes.
but I get closer exactly to that person. I'm saying, you know what? I don't really understand. There are really people like they are curious about other people's lives and trying to assume things which is not true, and I don't like that. So
And
it
spreading rumors and nasty things.
and
Yeah.
she said, "What do you mean?"
Mhm.
And I because I think she get what I mean.
Uh-huh.
And I said, ayun, oh, you don't get it? That is said, ayun. And then I said it again. And
Uh-huh.
then it seems like I can tell, like, she felt guilty or with her
Mhm.
reactions. And
Her
I said,
face turned blue. Like, oh
I
my
said,
gosh, she knows that I'm doing it to her.
yeah. And I said, like, I don't mind really if someone curious about my life, but I prefer someone who really asked me how I did it.
Yeah.
So that's why she don't like talk, like, for a while she paused because of what I said, but there's no really conflict happen after that, because I'm not attacking to her, but just to let her know that I'm aware what she's talking about me, something like that. So yeah, that's
But
what I did.
Sis Darcy, so can you please like give us a glimpse of that period of your life where you had to work and then go to school? Like, what was that? Like in the morning you work and then at night you go to school, or was it the opposite?
Oh, actually, I think it's pretty hard in my situation because mostly like students, they do like working straight at during the day, and then they work like later at night. Like,
Uh-huh.
but in my case, I'm trying to be more flexible with my work schedule
Yeah.
because in the restaurant where I work, um, they opened like 10:30 in the morning until 2. Literally, it's more like brunch and lunch. And
Uh,
then they closed from 2 to 5:30, I guess, or 6, something like
and
that.
come
And then
back
they
again for
open
dinner
for
time.
dinner until 10.
Okay.
So what I did, because I'm just like, I don't know, maybe like it's just happened. Like that's a school that I went to, because like I went to University of Cebu, by the way, after graduated high school, but in Lapu-Lapu, Mandaue. And then when I got the job, like a regular, on that job, there's a University of Cebu, but it's in
Vanilla.
Banilad town.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, Banilad. Yeah,
Yeah,
Banilad.
vanilla.
And then which is, I think that restaurant. There's a restaurant, other branch also there. And then if I choose Lapu-Lapu, there's a restaurant in Lapu-Lapu too. It seems like it's meant to me.
Oh, okay.
So
Uh-huh.
I moved my credentials to Manila because I know I was trained in Mactan branch, but when they choose me to keep, they decided to keep me in that job. They moved me to other branch,
Which is in vanilla.
which is in Manila. And then I'm so happy when I passed by because that's my first time. Like, I went in the area, and then when I saw the University of Cebu, and I said, "Oh my God, there's a University of
City of
Cebu."
Cebu. You can spell success without UC.
Because it's always my desire. Like, okay, like I'm good to school. There's always in my mind, like, my desire to go to school, my desire to go to school. Like, so when
Mm-hmm.
I saw that building, like, oh, seriously? Because I don't know that area. Because it's my
Yeah.
first time. I went to that area because of the job. The first time I saw there's a building, because I need to stop there and do another jeepney ride to the restaurant. And I said, oh my God, I can't believe this. There's University of Cebu. So it gives me an idea. This is really possible. I will
Mm-hmm.
move my credentials. And then during my, the break time when it's closed, it's only 5 minutes riding jeepney going to that school from the restaurant.
Oh,
And I said, oh, I can really go to school before it's open, the restaurant. You start 7:30, I think it's
7:30
seven
first.
thirty.
Yeah, first subject. Uh-huh.
Oh, 7:30. So I get like, how many units? Like three, something like
Three
that.
units. Yes.
And then
7:30 to
like,
9. Mm-hmm.
yeah, and then like and then after two, I'll go right away. Have a class 2:30, 3:30, 3:30 to 4:40, 4:30 to 5:30, like that. And then they give me like a layaway, because if you're the one waiting the service to pick up the sales, like you're the last person in the restaurant, and then you can
Uh-huh.
leave like 11 or 11:30, so you can start working 6:30, something like that. So I said,
Ah.
oh, this really worked for me. So it just happened, like, after 2 years, and then my desire, it's still there. It doesn't change.
Mm-hmm.
Feel like I want to go to school.
But sis Darcy, you said this was after 2 years, and your parents promised you that, I mean, after 2 years, I mean, around that time, your dad must have, his social security should have kicked off already. Don't they say, then they say that, Sarsi, you don't have to work anymore because your dad
No,
already, they
no.
said, no.
It's me who opened up again. I said,
Okay.
it's 2 years already.
Uh-huh.
Like, I'm excited. I'm gonna enroll, like, the next semester, the
Mm-hmm.
opening week, like, And then my mother said, like, really? Like, I said, yeah, remember, like, we talked about this already before. And then she told me, like, is that okay? Like, another year, because they said if your father wait another year, the pension kinda like higher or
Can
something.
increase. Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Yeah, like, oh my God, I cried again.
Of course, for sure. Uh-huh.
I cried again, and then I think my brother was there too. He said, what happened when she cried? And when my father started talking to me again, like, And I was so sad. And then what I said is like this. And then they said, okay, go. Because I said like, now I don't understand. If
Mhm.
someone like getting married, it seems like it's out of your control.
Mm.
So it just happened, like, and then they just married, like,
Yeah.
something, and then it's out of your control. So if that's the case, and I want to study, and then it seems like it's still a no, so maybe I'll go marry then. It seems like
Ah, okay.
I said, if that's the case, so I think it's better that I get married then. But obviously, I don't have boyfriend. But it's just like my thought, like, okay,
Uh-huh.
because I'm kinda really want to go to school and then continue my school. And then my father said, okay, it's okay, you go to school.
But
So
did
I did.
but they say, okay, you go to school and we will support you, or you go to school but you have to support yourself.
Oh, that's a good question because they told me like, okay, you go to school, but please know, like, already, like, my job, like, it's not stable and you have a siblings like that, so we cannot, you know so sorry, we cannot help you,
Help
like,
you.
we
Mm-hmm.
cannot assure you that we can support you, like, with your school if you need us, because like like, for now, you understand, like, your younger siblings, they
Siblings
need to
are their
finish
priority.
high school, which
Uh-huh.
I understand. And I said, like, yeah, I know, like, I understand, like I promise, like, I can do this. I figure it out already that it's really possible with my work. Like, I can do it, like, don't worry. And then that's
Mm-hmm.
why, like, I know already our situation, so don't worry about it, I will figure it out by myself. And then they're okay with that, so I even don't bug any of my sister to do that one, because
Mm-hmm.
I'm just like more responsible, like, on my expenses, everything. Like, I'll make sure, like, if that's not really necessary for me at that time, I'm not. And then I sacrifice, like, not going out much with
Mm-hmm.
friends, and
Yeah.
then just to spend something. Like, for me, it's not aligned with my goal, because
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking, if I have extra money for my school, I rather help it to my parents. Still.
Right. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's us Filipinos, is Sarzy. Like, even if they've hurt us, we will still turn around and still have this desire to make them happy, make them proud. You know,
Yeah, it's a
I
good
feel you.
feeling.
Yeah,
It's a
I
good
feel you.
feeling too. So
But
that's what
Sis
I did.
Sarzy, was the admin at that time of your life where you sacrifice a lot, not going out with other, with your friends, not doing the usual stuff that the kids your age are doing at that time, because your eye is on your goal, which is the college degree.
Mm,
Was there a point that you almost gave up?
many times. Many
Really?
times. Like, because sometimes, like, we're just human beings, and then we feel
Uh-huh.
tired. And then when you look around, like, you can say, huh, how nice if my parents can support me. I
I
don't, like,
know.
struggle like this. Because you have some students, like, they're
Yes, you get
privileged,
envy.
and
Mm-hmm.
they're just study, and then you're wondering, they didn't did good to their school, like, they don't take it seriously, and here you are, you really, like, have desire to do it well for your parents, but unfortunately
They can't help you.
they can't help me, and then I felt like, oh, can I, I'm not sure if I can, I have a lot of sleepless nights, like, you're tired, and then I don't want also to go to school, just go to school, and then
Yeah.
just whatever, like, I don't want, like, to present myself like that, because I've noticed some of the working student, which I don't blame, because, but it's kind of like hard, like, if you have a group activity and then you cannot contribute something, so for what, like, I'm not my thing, like,
Yeah.
I need to do some time for study too, so it seems like, like, I don't get, like, enough sleep, like, enough
Uh-huh.
rest for sleeping, so and then you try to commute every day, and then there's a lot of traffic every day, and then sometimes just to sneak in the jeepney, because
Oh my.
or else I'm gonna late with my
Yes.
job, and then I really
Yes.
need to. there's no spot for you, and then I really need to get in, and then
You sit
just
on the
like
air.
it seems like I'm sitting in the air, and then
Yes,
my
I've
legs
done
is
that a lot of
shaking.
times before.
Oh my god, my
Yes,
legs is
your
shaking.
ears are shaking.
And then I'm sweating, like
Yes.
literally like sweating.
Mhm.
And then when I go to work, like there's a customer already and it's so busy and I need to change like my work uniform. I need to go run. Like, oh my god, it seems like my life is so rushed, and I'm thinking, oh my god, is this still right? It seems like I'm not like, like my health. I'm sacrificing my health. Sometimes you don't have much time, eating, like especially your school, and you have this homework and everything, like exam, like always a rush, like because the gap of my work and
Yeah.
my class schedule, it's very tight. So I'm thinking like, and then one time it changed my mindset when I work in the I when I walking like in the sky bridge, because I
Uh-huh.
have this thought like kind of envy for somebody else. And then when I walking in the sky bridge, because there's a country mall in the
Yes.
UP Manila,
I'm imagining that skywalk now.
and
Yes,
then it's
I've been
so
there a lot of
windy
times. Yeah.
because I need to wait another jeepney on the other when you across. So I used that skybridge, and then I was walking. I never forget that one. I even shared to my husband that story, that it's really like, something like, I don't know, pop up in my mind when I saw this kid, like a homeless kid, like a beggar.
Uh-huh.
And I was so tired the time, like I'm starting complaining, like, my life in my thought, like,
Uh-huh.
oh, why it happened like this? Like my life is so hard. Supposedly I'm good, my intention is good, but this is hard. Like
Yeah.
life is not fair, or something like that. Where I'm walking, and I saw this kid like begging something without the clothes, like a homeless kid, and doing
Uh-huh.
something. And then when I walk in the skirt, there's other kid like sleeping, like with the like a donation,
Mm.
something like,
Uh-huh.
how
Uh-huh.
you call it. And I saw other kid like, I think that's a rugby, that in the
Ah.
plastic, and
Uh-huh.
then
Uh-huh.
they're,
Smoking.
yeah, it gives me a realization, like, Sarah, stop complaining. Like if you felt like you're less fortunate, there are more people less fortunate than you. That's my realization when I saw these kids, and I said like, oh my god, like I'm complaining, and then I'm still grateful that I have my parents, I have the entire family who supported on my decision finally. And then still I experienced the school, and then on my childhood I didn't experience like this kid, like so windy the time, and then they don't have clothes.
Yeah.
So that thought, like, it's completely changed. Like I said, I need to keep going with this,
Yeah.
rather than complaining. I need to appreciate that I
I
have the ability, or capable to do this. It's still like an opportunity, but maybe in a different way than other, like how they did it in their
uh-huh.
journey. Maybe I have my own journey too. So everything happens for a reason. We always hear that. So I said like, I think this is like there's always a purpose with this. So I take it this way. After
Yes.
that, one is
So it was
changed.
hard, but then you just persevered and just that was like your mantra.
Yeah, my
And you
mantra.
keep reminding yourself that yes, you are not in a favorable condition, but there are more people that are, in a less favorable condition.
Mm.
And then in your mind, this is just temporary. If I persevere, if I get my college diploma, college degree, then all of this will be over and I will reap the rewards of my sacrifices today. So
Yeah,
that was
exactly.
in your mind.
That's what's in my mind. Like if I keep going, like at the end of the day, like
Mm-hmm.
everything, like this is worth it, and I'm sure like my parents will be happy with my decision. Because if I decided to give up, they said, "Oh, this is what I told you. This is hard," and now I need to prove them that this is really what I want.
Yeah,
So,
you
so
were really tested, sisters, of how you badly want that college degree. Like
I
you were really
know.
tested. Like God was basically was saying is like, do you really want this, RC? But you know what? It has it has helped you become, and it has made you who you are now. And
Oh
then
yeah.
like you shared earlier, you are now an assistant manager of a retail company here in the US. And so yeah, and then also says Sarzi. you shared to me offline that you graduated from University of San Jose Recoletos. So can you
Mm.
share how from UC Manila you transitioned to USJR and why it happened?
Oh, actually, like it's not really like supposedly like my decision really is to finish just in University of Cebu, but um, it happened like when you're in the almost graduating stage, like you cannot like the class schedule. It's hard to choose because it's like you have like like how you call that like a black section like you cannot
Uh,
cross to a different degree because like you cannot cross the criminology and get this unit or get to other unit, and then it's not like my how you call this my work schedule is very how it fixed.
fixed already. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then like I cannot let go my job too, so so that's why I stopped. I stopped for a while again. Imagine, I stopped for a while again. Like, this is not gonna work. So what I'm gonna do? Because I don't want like to continue my study, and then I just get 9 units for a one semester. I'm just like kind of wasting my time, and then you still pay the miscellaneous in school. So it seems like it's not benefit on my side. So I think I stopped for a while, and then I have a younger sister. She's finished high school, and then she stopped for a year because she cannot pursue college as well. And I know she's smart and she's dedicated in school too. Every time I went back home, I saw her, and then it's just like I saw myself to her. There's
You
something
saw
like she
yourself in
likes
her.
to school, but she don't
Uh-huh.
have a choice to go to school. So I always like encourage like to my mother, is there a way that she can apply like a working scholar, like because that's a possible some university like they
Yeah,
offer like a working
scholarship.
scholar for someone like their grades is okay, and and they can check their grades and then take an exam, and then if they will
Yeah.
pass, like that's good, they can get a free tuition. And then my mother said, okay, just in case if she pass, and then who's gonna support her allowance, because
Mm.
I have I have another younger sibling, just one, like pursuing high school, and I said, "And me,"
Oh, okay.
because I stopped that school already. I
Uh-huh.
said, me, I will take the responsibility to help her. And
Yeah.
then she said, it takes 4 years. Are you sure? What if like you're gonna marry? I said, no, I'm not gonna marry. If I said I will, I will. And then she opened up to my father, and my father said, like, that's a good idea, but I don't want it happen again. What happened to me?
But,
Like I cannot pursue, and it hurts. It hurts him. If
mm,
example, and then it made her stop, and then there's no way she can pursue again. So my father said it hurts him because he
mm.
knew like he cannot help
But
about
you
it.
know what? It would for me. I mean, that's him. But I mean, for me, it doesn't hurt if you try. You know what
Oh,
I mean?
that's what he
There will
said.
always be blessings because sometimes in life you gotta do something that you have to close your eyes but not your heart because God will really bless you.
Mm.
Like if
And
you're
then
doing something good. But anyway, that was your dad's decision at
yeah,
that
that's my father, but I completely understand too because me before, like for me it's a blessing disguise, even I didn't like, it's a blessing in disguise even I didn't like maintain that grade, like just an experience and university, it's opened my eyes that there's a lot of ways that you can possible that you can go to school,
Yeah.
because prior that one, for me it's really impossible. I have the same idea with my parents that you need to
Uh-huh.
pay this tuition and everything, but when I learned that one, it's me who have an idea that no, like I have a lot of classmates, their parents, they're just working like this, and their job is not really a professional job, but they are in the school, and then some they're working students and they have working scholar, like how
Yeah.
is it possible, just need like to be like a guidance and try and
Yeah.
make it happen. So it happened like I think my relatives, someone is a working scholar too, like the relatives of my relatives, and then like it helps, like it's like kind of a recommendation, like the
Oh,
the
she got into
procedure.
working scholarship as well, Sister
The,
Z?
yeah, like a procedure, like okay, you need to take an exam in this university. It's
Uh-huh.
a
In
Southwestern.
UC. Ah, in South
Southwestern.
SWU. Okay. I
You
was
need.
a working scholar in UC.
Oh, yeah. So
Okay.
that's what like the path that my sister like did, and then she did that one and she passed the exam, and then of course I don't know if the same in University of Cebu, like they need like a medical exam. You guys did too?
I forgot now. Did they? And then
Yeah,
she did not pass?
like they make sure like you're healthy, like this some laboratory or something like that. And my mother said, oh, I don't understand why they need this medical exam, and then you need a lot need another month,
Yeah.
like a money. And then
Mm-hmm.
we have a tight budget, so everything like for them it's big, or that's like too much, why we need. And then still, like I said, no, that's nothing. Oh, it seems like I felt like
So you shouldered it again.
I said, no, that's nothing. Once like she passed the exam and the tuition is so expensive. Once she
Yeah.
passed the medical exam and the tuition is expensive, like that's nothing. Like that's a good chance. So they did that one anyways, because I sent the money for that one,
Uh-huh.
because I stopped school at that moment. So she passed everything, and then we have this conversation that hopefully you really take your study seriously, and you not get married.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
That you really need to to finish your study. I don't care if you're the one to finish first. As long as you finish your study, I am more than happy. And for sure, like our parents will be happy about it. So my parents always like reminding her, like, because and then after you, I'm gonna go back to school no matter what, because I have only
Ah,
1 year to
to
go.
do. Yes.
Yeah, to go. And then thankfully she's very obedient. She's very obedient too. Like I can tell, like she tried so hard on her study and she keeps going. So when she's graduated, like it seems like a very good feeling that in the 4 years I helped her like all of her allowance.
Oh, so oh my God, so you supported her all the way and then finally she graduated.
She
So,
graduated
so,
like a
so
year
she was the,
prior than me.
okay.
And
So
she
she graduated
graduated.
ahead of you.
She's the first in our family graduated bachelor.
Yeah. But it
So
was because of you. Because you supported her. Basically, you gave way.
me and her actually, like it's kind of like a win-win situation, because I'm
Uh-huh.
helping her all the way, like her no, not tuition, her allowances.
Allowance and then boarding house,
Yeah, like that. And then
the books.
oh, and the books, like that, necessary, for student. But
Uh-huh, uh-huh.
I'm glad too, like she's not really, she's willing to sacrifice too. Nothing necessary. Oh, nothing like over, like not
Over the
need for
top.
you or
Yes.
something. It's really in the budget too. Like, this is only your weekly, and then she's not like spending whatever or demand or I
And
need
she
this.
valued your, yeah, she valued your help.
Yeah, she understand if for
Mm,
her like it's okay not to join this one because it's not necessary, because it's cost of money. She don't
yeah.
tell me, because she understand, like that I help her a lot already or something like that. And then when she graduated, like, oh my god, I'm so happy, like we did it, like it's just like we did it, like like I cannot believe it, like for that 4 years, like we make it happen. And I'm so excited. I bought her a dress, a shoes. I never been like I never buy a shoes for myself, like a
Uh-huh.
branded one or expensive one. I usually like go to the thrift shop. But for her, I did it for her
Yeah.
during her graduation, like like finally. And then I think my sister, like my oldest sister, and then she congratulated me too.
Yeah, it was your success too, since Darcy.
She told me like, oh, like I'm so like I'm so like proud, like you help her like that, like it's between us. And then after that, when I when she graduated, she's frustrated because she really wants to have a job right away. She said, oh, I thought like if I graduated I get a job right
Uh,
away. And I said, no, that's okay, you can keep trying, but it's
uh-huh.
not that long. And then she got this job, and
What was
then
her degree?
she's in bachelor of She's also a BA, but in the operational management.
Oh,
That's
okay.
her major. So,
Uh-huh.
so she got a job, and then I back to school, and then she even helped me some of my tuition.
Ah, good for her. What a
Yeah,
good
for that
sister.
year. So with everything, and then after that, she graduated, and my other sister, she's married. She continued her study too, and then she made it, and changed her life to a professional job. And
Nice.
then our younger sibling, like he graduated too, and then I saw like my parents, like they are the one like pushing him
But
to.
you were the catalyst, Sir Sarzi. If you did not push yourself, like really persevered, I think it will not yeah, I think it will not send a ripple, to your siblings, because they've seen it on you that Sarzi did this, Sarzi did that, even like during those times that nobody was able to help her. So, and now that's why your sister, when it was her time and you supported her, probably she was thinking that, Sarsi even did it before when nobody was helping her, and now I have her to help me. Then what more, or what else do I need? It's enough. So that's why she persevered as well. And then
Mm,
your sister, your older sister saw that, oh my gosh, my my younger sisters did really good and they persevered as well. So yeah, it inspired her, and then your brother. So all
yeah,
four of
my
you.
my youngest, our youngest, brother,
Mm-hmm.
like he graduated too as a working scholar in the
See?
same university, like,
Yeah.
and then he's very shy, but it happened like my younger sister, she was there already. She's more the one, like, kind of extrovert than my younger sibling. So, my youngest brother. So
Uh,
she's the one guiding him. But
nice.
like he finished his too as a working scholar, which is like it happened like
So now, what was the where your parents' reaction like after all of you persevered, and then like before this idea of you graduating? I think at some point they have given up that any of their kids will be able to, have a college degree, but it started on you, and then finally there are four of you. What was their, like, I mean, what was their reaction? What is their message to all of you, especially to
Oh,
you?
you know
Did they
what? Like
thank you?
when you're graduated, you have this how you call this? A picture,
A
like
tarpaulin, a tarp.
like a frame
Ah, okay,
you
yeah,
hang in
okay.
your, just
A
like here.
graduation pic, that one. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
A graduation pic, like you have
Yeah.
this a toga, and
Yes.
and then we hang it in our wall in our house.
Uh-huh.
So of course, like if some people, like your neighbor or your relatives, they said, "Oh, like your kids, like finish like school, like where are they now?" or like that. And
Uh-huh.
then I can feel like they are proud because they always said like, "Yeah, they did it, but they figure out by
Themselves.
themselves." Like
Mm.
they figure out by themselves, they're really pushing hard, like I felt
Mm-hmm.
bad, but they did it anyways, like something like that. So I can feel like they are proud and
Yeah.
happy about
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
And probably also see Sarsi in their mind. Good thing Sarsi did not listen to us. Good thing Sarsi did not take our no as a final answer. Good thing Sarsi. I know all of that
You're
is in their.
right, you're
Ah,
right,
okay.
sis, because you know what, like I have some nieces and nephews already,
Uh-huh.
but sometimes like they did, like if they miss school or they don't take it seriously, and my mother always told them like, you know what, like guys, you're so blessed, like you can go to school, like your auntie before, like she
Mm.
even cried many times
Yeah.
because she want to go to school, but it's not that happen that easy.
Because we can. Now that you can, you won't. So that's the problem of the younger generations.
Yeah,
Anyways, Sarsi, thank you so much for sharing your heart. Thank you so much for sharing that experience to
yeah, of
us. At
course.
this point, let's say hi to our viewers.
Okay, sure, we have
Okay.
viewers.
Yeah, we have viewers. We have actually 8 million. 8 million.
Oh,
So we have
hi.
Sir, we have Sis Nelsie, We have Sis Korea's vlogs. We have,
Oh, yeah,
yeah.
I know Korea's vlog. I watch
So
the vlog.
Sinels is from Samar, Northern Samar. Of course, Korea's vlogs from
Hi, Korea's vlog.
California, and then Charles from what you call this, Washington, and then Jackie from
Oh, I
Texas.
watch
Do you
some
still
of her
remember Sis
videos
Jack?
too. Yeah.
Yeah, yes, Jackie,
I
Sis
think she's
Jackie.
from Texas, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
Texas. So she's watching, she's listening.
Uh,
And my friend Felotea from Tabugon, Cebu. And what else here? And we have Sam K who said hi from California. Hello everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in to the live conversation. So yeah, we
oh.
just finished talking about Sarsi's beautiful story of success, like how she persevered and did not take no for an answer, and because of that, her siblings was able to finish their degree as well. So what a beautiful story, Sis Sarsi. Congratulations. At some point in your
Thank you.
story, I have also remembered my experience as well. How I how I fought for the dream of having a college diploma. Maybe sometime in
Uh,
the future I'll share it on my channel. But on the second part of our conversation, we will be talking about like how is your life now in America? So you mentioned that you arrived here 2018. Can you
yeah.
please take us on the first, I mean, on your first year in America? How was it? Were you able to adjust right away, or was it a struggle as well?
Like moving from a different countries, like moving from a different country, you have really that's a challenge, very challenging one. Like, it's a huge transition, like especially from the Philippines, like Asian country, and then move to a Western countries. I should say, it's a completely different. Like, I think the first time when I landed in America, America, it was like a long flight. Like, it's a very long flight. I almost vomiting when I arrived in Chicago airport, and I said like, "Oh my God, this is too far away from home." So of course the excitement was there that finally, um, I was not in like long distance um, relationship,
Mm-hmm.
something like that. But I'm more curious to like what's really America, because it's different like in the movie, or like
Mm-hmm.
in reality. But I was surprised, like I said, like, oh, like the first time that I noticed, like the road, like
It's
it's like
wider.
it's wider, it's way
Lots
wider.
of lanes.
It's a lot of lanes, like it's many cars, but there's not much traffic
Uh-huh,
in our
uh-huh.
area, like compared to the Philippines. And then when the road is right there, and then the establishment is not that close to the highway,
Yes. Mm-hmm.
and then
Because of their zoning.
yeah, like but I think like for the first year, it's not
Mm-hmm.
that easy. Actually, it's not that easy, because I'm used to with my family. Like, I'm more like work and home when I was in the Philippines, and then that's my routine. And then if I got off to work, I visited to my parents and spending my time with them. And then like, and I'm moving here, like, oh my God, like it's very rare I can see people like outside in the house. Where are they? Like it's very rare I can see them. Like, mostly they're inside in their house, I guess. Like, even to
Uh-huh.
your neighbor you cannot talk to them.
Yeah.
And then it's very different. Like, me, I'm from big family, and then my husband, he's only had one brother.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
And
the
then
one from Washington, right? I mean, now living here in Washington.
and he's not here too, so it's
Uh-huh.
only like his parents. So I felt for the 3 months I'm okay. Like, I'm still enjoying the environment and everything, like, but I think after 3 months I felt kind of homesick.
Mm.
I miss my family back home, like everything, like the
Uh-huh.
routine that I used to in the Philippines. I miss it because I cannot do it here.
So how did you cope up with homesickness?
So I think I tried to call my parents often or keep chatting with my sister, like, anytime. And then it happened, I don't have any Filipino friends the
Mm.
time when I moved here.
Uh-huh.
Even now, for 5 years, I only have one or two, just
Mm-hmm.
two for 5 years. I have
Yeah.
two, just five too, but because I'm not like engaging really myself to a Filipino community, but
Mm-hmm.
I've heard there is here, but it's not really my choice at the moment. So
Yeah.
I'm okay with that. I just like, if I bump some, you know, some Filipina, it's good. But if not, so it's okay. Like, because I'm kind of more like, how you call this? I'm okay, like just a homebody. Especially
Yeah.
I'm married now, so I'm
Yeah.
okay. I'm not more like socializing, go party or whatever. So, but at that time as well, I do something like aside, like, waiting my partner, because we're not married right away when I moved here. So I don't like, just waiting and sitting down, but until like waiting like while he's working. So I need to do some stuff I tried to do before I really working. Like I did like a sort of online business.
Ah. That
Yeah.
was when you were still waiting for your work permit, correct?
Yeah, so at least I have some outlet to do that keeps you
Uh-huh.
busy.
Right.
So I tried like doing eBay and
Ah, uh-huh.
Postmark at the time.
Ah,
And then if I
okay.
get some sales, I'm happy. I felt excited. And then, like, if my husband get off, like, we went to a store and then find like these good deals that I thought like I can resell this one. So
Uh-huh.
that's what I did. And sometimes we visited some thrift store.
Uh-huh.
And then, oh my god, like I can't believe this. Like, someone bought this one for this. Like, and I just bought this one for this price. Like,
Uh-huh.
I'm kind of enjoying it for a while. And then I tried YouTube for a while
Uh-huh.
too. Because I keep watching some Filipina moving here. Like, at least we give some points, like how, like, their life here. Like, if it is
Right.
normal, how I feel. So I'm going to search some of those. And then it end up like I said, oh, this kind of interesting. Maybe I can try to share my random,
Yeah.
random like routine here too. But I didn't cope up. Like I didn't keep it going until like I get to a job, something like that. So, but it gets better. Like actually, it gets better. Like in a year, like like relationship wise, it
Uh-huh.
you have some misunderstandings. Even it's different. Like like when you're, how you call this, like share your life with a person every day, like with
Yeah,
you.
it's given because we are two different individuals. So we will clash on certain things, but because we're husband and wife, we're couple, we talk it out and then and
Yeah,
of
so
course compromise and yeah.
exactly right. Like like I know we talked a lot, like like when we met before I moved here, because
Uh-huh.
we spent a quite, because I since we know each other, it's been 2 years before I moved here. So
Uh-huh.
I should say, like, we discuss a lot of things, like what you should expect about me when I move there. Do you
Right.
want me as a just a full time wife, like not do a job or like that? So I know like what I'm expecting for. If this is really a man that I'm really look for, or if this is really work for me, like
Uh-huh.
for a relationship, like for a long term. And I want him to, the same way to ask, even like in finance,
Oh,
financial
oh yeah,
matter.
speaking of that. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. You discussed that before getting married, correct?
Yeah, and then whatever that I thought when I was in the Philippines, whatever that I thought that it can cause a problem in the near future for the relationship, I rather say it right away.
Yeah, you bring
Rather
it up.
say it or
Uh-huh.
being transparent about it. If I thought that it could be cause conflict, So I need to share this, idea, or my plan, or my something about this perspective of life, and what's his thought about this. So um about that one, like, we don't have really a problem, like, those matters,
With
like,
like the sending support to your parents.
yeah, something like that, or relationship, like like a major, like, like issue or problem, that, oh, this is like a surprising. Not really, because it can be, it's like we discuss most of it just about, like, the gesture that you're not really aware,
Mm-hmm.
like, he had this gesture that felt you offended, or like something like that, like, but it's
Yeah,
not
yeah.
really like a major thing, like financial, or misunderstanding on how you do this, or your career, or this is what you, not really like that. It's about like a gesture, or how,
Sarcasm.
yeah, something.
Do you have issues with sarcasm? Because that's like the common thing that Filipinos notice with with their American husband. Like even my husband, like their sarcasm. Because sometimes Filipino, we're not used to sarcasm. We like sometimes they're being sarcastic, but to us, like, you're offending me, you're trying to hurt me. It's like, no, I'm just being sarcastic or something like that.
Yeah, something like that. And then I'm not confrontational, so I take it like in a silent treatment, like, because, and then he knew already, like, I'm upset because before he moved to the Philippines, before he visited to the Philippines, he researched more about the Filipina, like, qualities, and he aware about, like, like silent treatment, like,
Uh-huh, uh-huh, uh-huh.
so meaning there's something wrong about it. So he's kind of aware, like, when I did, he knew already that something wrong.
Yeah. But do you still do tampos or sarsi? Do you still do sulking?
um, actually, I did sometimes, but
Not as much.
very, very rare. Actually,
Mm.
very rare. Like, I'm like thankful. Like, it seems like everything fall into place. Like, with our relationship, it seems like we shared uh, mostly like the same values. Like,
Mm-hmm.
he's not that type, like, because I always tell him, like, any misunderstandings, it's normal, and I'm okay with that. But I really hated, like, someone yelling at me, like,
Ah.
if raise your voice, like, I easily get like, why you yell at me, something, or I rather, like, felt bad right away, like,
Yeah.
if I heard him, like, raising his voice, like,
Voice.
kind of said, like, I did something wrong, or what happened, like, or something
Ah,
wrong
that's
with
so
him,
me.
and then he
That's
put it
so
on
me.
me.
Uh-huh.
So that's how I felt. So most of the time it's like that, but he learned of now, like, after, like, I voice out, like, I don't like you're raising your voice. He said, I'm not raising my voice. Is this like how I said
That's
things?
my husband too.
But for me, it seems like, it's a raising your voice,
Yeah.
but in the long run, like, there's no perfect relationship, but
Yeah.
for me, like, for us, like, whatever, like, you need to compromise. You're just not like focus, like, oh, like, the negative, because there's a
Correct.
lot of good things that the
True.
person, like, has, and then
True.
why bother, just example, just one thing that he cannot give it to
Mm-hmm.
you, or
Yes.
something like that. So I think that's why it really works smoothly in
Yeah.
relationship wise between us.
Yeah. And that's pretty much should be the thing for everybody because no one is perfect.
Yeah, no one is
So,
perfect. And
yeah.
I always think that to myself too. Why, example, like, he has a flaws, or something that you don't not meet your expectation, for example, or, and I was thinking, like, nobody's perfect, and even me, like, myself, I'm trying to evaluate myself too, and I'm not perfect. So in relationship, it's really because that's what you choose already, as long as he didn't hurt me physically. He's not, like, like, irresponsible one, or something like that. Like, majority, he's a good person. So
Mm-hmm.
that's what mattered to me already. Like, This is really what,
Yeah.
like, it's about acceptance and embrace it, because there's something like, there's something that you cannot do this and he can do that, and this is like a teamwork. Like,
Correct.
at the end of the
You're
day,
right.
I always think like, at the end of the day, I never like, we have understanding. I never have in my thought like, like, this is the end, like we just break up. I never like threw those
No.
words or bad words. Never in 5 years, I never say anything like bad words to him,
Oh.
not at all, because I always like reminding myself like, at the end of the day, whatever like my words like or bad words that I him too, never, because like,
Mm,
like you will regret it and you cannot take it back, or and then just one, and then it always in their mind already, just one.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's right.
so
So,
rather.
Sis Sarsi, you have lived in America for almost 5 years. How have you changed?
Oh, that's really like a good question, because even in my workplace, because there's a man like that, and then he told me, because of me, he's curious about Philippines. I said, seriously?
Oh, okay.
I said, seriously? They said, they like, yeah, and then they're curious how I meet my husband, like, of course I told them too, like how we met, and then he said like since like I knew you, like it's just like there's something in you, like it's completely different, like
Mm,
it's like, oh
yeah.
my god, like,
Are you hitting on me? Just kidding.
and then sometimes they are very vocal, about how
uh,
they feel.
uh-huh, uh-huh.
But it's up to you how you
Of
take it,
course.
because me, I'm married, and just I just
You
like
receive a lot of that. Oh my gosh.
I just let it go, like it's a
Uh-huh.
like a joke or something like that. Like you said, Diane, and I said, Diane, I don't know why. Like you said, and I said, and do you want me to tell you why? Like, like something like the interaction to change, like.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're not focusing on that one, and they said, "Oh, I start like watching YouTube a lot of because I'm curious now about
The Filipinas.
Philippines or Filipino woman, because I feel like one day I'm gonna visit there, and then they get this a lot of information like what they watch, and then they told me like, so they said like that I watch like it's not safe to bring a Filipina in
Yeah, that.
America.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I got really like a straight question by
Yeah.
myself,
Okay.
by
So
my
how do you
colleague,
answer that?
and then said like, so tell me now, are you changed? Are you changed from a traditional like Filipina, like because that's what I always like, like I heard in the YouTube, like if you have a Filipina, just stay in the Philippines, and then
Philippines.
definitely
Uh-huh.
they're not bring, because they're gonna completely change. And
Uh-huh.
then I said that, yeah, I'm aware of that. Like, I've heard that before, that if you bring a Filipina, but I should say really like, it depends to every person. And then if in case you decided to, to find a Filipina one day, you really make sure like it's not only about her. You're trying to check also with her family, like what's
Mm-hmm.
her life before, or how her family there, like her environment. That's very important, because for me personally, it's very important that I will stick on my core values, because that's how my parents raised me, and it's hard for me to change it, because that's how I
Yes.
used to.
Uh-huh.
So I don't think so that I'm changing, not at all, because before I'm in the Philippines, I should say, like went to the salon, do your hair or pedicure, manicure, like that. And then when I moved here, I realized, oh, one time my husband took me in the salon to do my nails, and and my pedicure, and then I just realized like, how much did you pay? And and then he told me how much he paid,
Yeah.
plus this service charge or something. I think that was still like when about to get married. And then I
Uh-huh.
realized, huh? That's how much you paid? And he
Uh-huh.
said, yeah, that's okay. And I said, no way. I will never do that again. Never.
Mm-hmm.
So I never do that again for five
Yeah.
years. I think I did only twice. Twice. And then I did it on my own. But in the Philippines, that's something that it's so easy for me to. to go because
Yeah,
it's
because like $1, 50
yeah the
pesos, then you can have your nails done.
yeah, and then the service there is cheaper, right? And then
Yes.
when even you do your hair here, like there's no way I spend $400. No, I don't. And then sometimes like I think like I did once or twice, but it's not really my choice. It's my husband who booked me, like
Uh-huh.
who booked me in the salon because I always know if I knew like the price, then
Yes.
no. So it seems like sometimes it's like kind of like he's surprised. He said like, no, we go there like that because I booked you. What? So how much did you pay? He said, no, forget it, because I know like I'm, it's so expensive. So I'm more like, and then I'm not really into. I don't have a problem like some Filipina, they, or they like this branded, stuff that
Stuff.
they're happy like for that one. But for me, like I told to my husband, this is only my personal point
Preference.
of view.
Uh-huh.
Like example, like this is like we will check a bag like luxury brand like LV or Gucci or Chanel, and I said like I don't know if I can in my own if I can use that because I know like I'm not that like I'm not that kind of rich or from a rich family or and then it's for me like maybe if I have a lot of money maybe it fits for me, but I don't think it fits for me, so I rather not to.
Right.
Like yeah, I'm not like you said like oh look at this like I said no, not really my thing, like I'm not
Yeah,
really
because
like
even if like say your husband bought that thing for you,
mm,
you will not use it because you don't feel like
comfortable
it
on
fits
my
you comfortable. Yeah.
yeah, because maybe
Okay.
people thought that I have a lot of money because I use that bag, their perception like oh Sarah has a lot of money now, like but no, it's not. It's not the case, so something like that, yeah. It
But
depends
Sis
for me like
Darcy,
it's
oh sorry.
for me like it's about like the values that the Filipina,
Uh-huh.
it's very important, like if they instilled in a very good values in a very good environment since like before they moved here,
Uh-huh.
and then when they came here like they know how to choose people that they surround themselves with. That's very important too because sometimes if you're with the wrong like example, you found this Filipina.
Mm-hmm.
Just an example, like you move to the Philippines, oh, here in the USA, and you're so eager to find like a Filipina friend, and then you're not like choosing wisely, like a kind of friend that
Correct.
personally that you
Mm-hmm.
connect with in in any perspective, like in life that you connect with, and then if you think like that's not a Filipina that you're kind of comfortable of because she has something like different lifestyle or
Yes.
than you, so rather like not to because there's a big tendency that maybe you kind of influence because
That's
this
the
is what
thing.
your
And
friend like.
yes. So something to keep in mind, like for Western men, if you're gonna take your Filipina to the US, um, try and guide her with the kind of people that she hangs out with.
Yeah,
Because, yes, because eventually you will be the average of the people that you hang out most of the time with.
I know.
So yeah, that's something also to keep in mind. But also, like Sarzy said, is it really boils down to the core values, like the upbringing of the Filipina. And if, for example, you would say, but some it's easy for women to fake it. Like when you're still dating, she's gonna appear like
That's
yeah,
so
she's gonna appear like
true.
she's a good woman, she's the ideal one. But then Arlene, when I took her to America, she changed. Now you were at fault as well because it was your responsibility or your role to uncover her. Like while you
Mm,
were still dating, like really got to know the person because it will only take so much time for her to like cover up her tracks if she's lying or she's just pretending. So
mm,
if it so happened that you married a Filipina that represented herself differently compared from like
yeah.
before you brought her to the Philippines, then it was your fault as well.
Actually,
But
I've heard that story, like
yeah, Yeah,
Like
because
Filipina really good, like pretending. For
uh-huh, uh-huh.
example, because it seems like a funny but a sad story at the same time, because like this foreigner, I think, trying to test the Filipina, like, like went to the mall, and then, offer this Filipina, like, they want this or this stuff or this
Yeah,
stuff. And in the Filipina is very smart too, like, oh, they don't like this, they know that, the foreigner don't like this, they always say yes, yes, always say no. The Filipino always said no, that's so expensive, no, I
but
don't
then
like
they
that,
got here.
I don't like that. But in real life she's like that.
Yeah, just faking. So that's why they
But
really have.
you need to make sure, like, aside from that, if you give your time to really know the Filipina, you can
Mhm.
really notice that there's a red flag, and then try to pinpoint some of the red flag. And then if it's like too much for you, like, that's a signal already that it's not a good one. Like, for
Right.
example, like, you have a discussion, and then you talk about money, example, and then you can
Mm.
tell the way how he reacts. You try to test her. You try
Uh-huh.
to test her, and then if she's like kind of upset about that thing or like that, there's a lot of ways that you can tell, like, this is a fake one or this is not real. Me, I personally, I test my husband many times if he's really serious, because I'm not at the age, I'm younger at the time when I met him. So, and we heard a lot of stories. So at that time, I'm serious already, that looking for someone in a serious relationship, not just like, just if it works, it's okay. If not, it's not really like that. I'm just like stick, like, I want really, like, in this time,
Uh-huh.
like, if this is really gonna work, I don't want like spend this time and then it's not gonna work. So that's why when I think when we're chatted for 3 months to 6 months, and then he really wants to visit me in person, and then I'm not that ready, like, I'm not sure if I know him enough. So I tried to refuse it and choose my job still, and it's up to him if he will wait for me or like that. And then, so just to take, like, seriously, because he told me he's so serious. So if he's so
Uh-huh.
serious, I was just thinking, like, maybe he's willing to wait. So and he did. And then sometimes when this time, like I said, let's try to see if he's really, like, serious about you, or he said, like, example, he said, oh, I love you, or something like that, but you need to meet in person yet. So to
Uh-huh.
make sure if that's for real. So what I
Right.
did, like, but I told my husband already already about this, that I test him many times. And then one of those, like, I'm just like, okay, he said to me that he loves me. I'm not sure if it's true because I didn't meet in person. But anyway, we chatted every day for more than 6 months. So I tried not to online, or like try to disappear, like, not like contacting like a day, like, we'll see
Uh-huh.
if he's worried, or he's worried about you or something like that. If he called you or you get a lot of messages, something like that, when you open your, like, example, Skype or your
Uh-huh.
phone, and then you can really feel that, this one is serious, because you can feel like he's worried, and he tried to keep me calm many times.
Right. So yeah, basically, Sir Sarsi, you're really saying that while you are still dating, you have to really make sure that like he's really serious with you. He's really the guy. Not just spending those times with just like you said, like while you were still dating, you already brought up the topic about like anything that you thought that would cause like
Mm,
issue in the future. You already talk it out and like about especially the money thing and all other things. And
yeah.
you also mentioned like if you're like what is his expectation if when you go to the US, if you're gonna work or just gonna be a
Mm.
stay-at-home wife. So when you told him that you wanna work, how did he take it? I mean,
Actually, I asked. He know already that I'm working back in the
uh-huh,
Philippines, but of course, I just want to know, like, his perspective. Like, what's his preference to have a Filipino wife, like, is a stay-home wife, or a Filipina that still, like, doing her career and work.
Uh-huh.
So, but but for me, I'm kind of like more like happy to work, on my
Yeah.
mind, because that's what I used to. But I'm just like curious, like, and then if what's his thought about it. But he told me, like, like, he don't really tell me straight that, oh, I prefer like a woman who's
Like that.
working or something like that.
Uh-huh.
But he just only told me like, I'm okay, like either, but whatever makes you happy, like he's okay with that. But
Uh-huh.
he told me, but I don't think so. You choose like to stay home
Mm.
because you get used to like like
Working.
working.
Uh-huh.
So I don't have any problem with that. So I was thinking like, okay, like something that we talk about it. So I know already that if I'm working here, so it's not a problem to him, because I've heard some some foreigner that
Uh-huh.
they don't want like their Filipina wife
To work.
to work. So that's why I raised that concern, like what his thought, because I don't want to pretend myself in case he said like, oh, I really prefer that my wife is not working, just
Mm-hmm.
stay home wife.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think so. Like I'm gonna pretend like, okay, I'm okay with that. Probably I will still tell him like, oh, really? Because me personally, I prefer like to work. So, I can see like like if this is really the man that I am looking for, or if he's not
Right.
okay with that. If he don't accept in that way, so maybe we're not meant to be. So that's why it's
Yeah.
very important to raise important questions.
Correct. And also, Sis Sarcy, would you say that now that both of you are working, it is faster for you to achieve your dreams as a couple?
I should say it really helps, actually. Yeah, but at the same time, like it's still between two of you because it's different what kind of lifestyle
Ah, yeah, that's
as a
right too.
couple that you choose. Because
Huh?
sometimes if both of you are working and then other like spending this money like
Yeah.
like
Mm-hmm.
on the like example like me example, like my husband is working and then I'm working too, and then I'm not responsible enough with my finances because this is what I earn. Like I work for this. Example, that's my mindset.
Uh-huh,
As
uh-huh.
a wife, so I don't think I kind of help with my husband. So it's just happened like we respect each other on that matter. Like
Mm,
in working, like what he earned, what I earn. So we make sure both of us are responsible about what we spend, like we always think like make sure like we have this set aside or like that. So
you're
not
right.
really like because I'm working I can decide my own too.
No, no,
Not like
no,
that. Like
no.
it does not work.
Yeah, it's not the best way to do marriage
No,
because
no.
yeah, your marriage, no, you are one.
Mm,
You are one. You're not separate person in terms in that aspect, and when it comes to like your goals, your
yeah.
finances, you know. So yeah, that's good. Actually, maybe like in the future as well, I'm gonna cover personal finance topic here on my podcast as well.
Oh,
Because
that's something
I know
interesting.
there are some people it would come to them as no brainer, but for some other people or couple, they need guidance as well as to how to manage finances or to
Right.
yeah to achieve their goals, because
Mm-hmm.
not just for couples, actually, sisters, say personal finance is really essential in all you know
I think this you're
level.
very good on that. You're very good on that
That
area.
topic because I'm an accountant. Yeah, like my husband would say. My husband is really proud because like if he like anyone would ask me or would ask us like where did our money go, I can tell to the last penny where it went.
Yeah,
I can tell where.
I can tell.
Yeah, because I have a budget. I kept track everything if we were on track,
Your
and then
profession really helps you in that.
yes, and so that you will be you like that where you're going, and you are definite that you're gonna achieve your goal because you're really working towards it, not just saying like bahala na. Like if it
Oh,
happens, if happens. No, no. When it comes to goals, personal finance and financial goals, you really have to make it happen. Like you have to be intentional, but maybe some other time we're gonna talk about that.
Mm.
Sis Sarzi, any last messages or like message for Filipinas and to Western men who are interested of, bringing their Filipina or marrying a Filipina or a Filipina who is planning to move here in the US?
Okay, like I think like um for sure nowadays there you can say you can watch different sources about talking about like Filipina, Western, trying to look outside of the countries, like finding their dream wife. I should say, like for foreign, really, like they're very example. They're very interested, like to find Filipina. Like for me, like if you take your time, really, like to get to know well and don't rush things, like just too eager to have a Filipina wife, like there's still out there, like who's really like searching for you as well, like
Yes.
yeah, there's always out there like really
Uh-huh.
searching for you as well, but it's just a matter like you get to know very very well and spend more time, because if you find this good Filipina, like I can tell like it's worth it, because I always ask my husband, do you regret?
Yeah.
Because that's a big decision, right? Like different culture, and you, especially when you decided to bring your Filipina in the USA, it's just a big decision for them. So I always
Mm-hmm.
ask him, like, do you regret your decision? Like, you marry me? Like, like I have that conversation, like, in our anniversary or something like that. Like, but for him, he said, no, not at all. Like, I'm very, very happy. Like, I found a good, a good Filipina, because if a good Filipina, like, no matter what, they will do everything
Yeah.
for for the relationship or the family and everything, like wins so smooth, like especially your intention is the same as well with, you know for both of you, like align with that intention, like for the relationship, what your goal. So it's very a peaceful and a harmonious
Hmm.
living, like,
Yes.
but for Filipina, don't expect too much, like it doesn't mean like, okay, example, you're in a relationship and then your parent trying to help you, like sending you money, like, and then you thought like, oh, this is an easy life or something like that. No, like when you go to America, yes, there's a lot of opportunities here, like you can land different jobs if you're not choosy, if that's your, like you talk about it that you really want to go work with, even you get married. But really, but you make sure, like, like everything, whatever your husband or your partner has, before you move, they work hard for it, so you need to work hard as well. You need to
Yeah.
contribute something as well, rather than like just, you know like rely like to your
Mm-hmm.
husband. Like it's nice, like, because especially like when you're helping your family back home, and then it's very different culture from here, like don't like surprise your husband that that's what your plan, that
Yes.
that when I go here I have a work, so because this is, because I'm working, this is not your money, so what's a big deal for that? Like it's not like that, because it doesn't work that way, because you're
Mm-hmm.
in a relationship, of course you have a goal to achieve too, as
Yes.
a couple. Of course your family is important, but trying like not to surprise your husband in that case, because that's not their culture, and probably they're not okay with that, so it just cause you a problem. And then it's very important, like, because in Philippines we're not really used to driving, and then
Oh, yeah. It's a good one.
the transport system here, especially if you're not living in the city, like you really need how to drive.
Mm-hmm.
Like you need to, even even if you don't like it, you need to, because like it's too hard. Like if you need something and then your husband is at work, there's no way you can go somewhere. So
Yes.
you, if you have a chance, like back home, like have a try, like driving. If you have a free time before you move it, I suggest you do so, because when you moved here, at least you have a feeling already, like how to do this. Because me,
Yeah.
I didn't. I just wait when I moved here, and then I cried many times.
But now, do you have your license now, Sis Sarcy?
Oh yeah, I had my license. I think I'm driving for a year already. I think you
Yeah.
saw some of my videos before I
Yeah,
tried.
like you were practicing. Yeah.
Yeah, with my husband, right? And
Yeah.
then because I was realized like, oh, like looking for a job, it seems like I have a limited options, because example, it's a 30 minutes away, or it's not work with my husband's schedule. So it's kind of like it made my options slim in the chance like for looking a job. And then of course my parents-in-law, they are very supportive, like because they are not working anymore, because they are in their 80s. So they are really like willing to send me go to work and pick me up if my husband
Oh,
cannot. But I know I'm okay. I'm grateful with that. But at the same time, I don't want to bother them.
that's right. Uh-huh.
And sometimes you cannot like leave at work at the same time because you have some tasks need to finish, and I don't want them waiting.
Yes.
So that's why like it's
And
urged me
Americans
to,
don't like waiting. If you say
yeah.
that's a time, that's a time.
And then I'm urged like, oh, this is the time that I really need to learn.
Uh-huh.
And then at first it's my husband who taught me how, and then I don't think like I can learn because he's scarier than me, because of the way when I drive, he said, "Ah, stop, like what like like don't like this." So it made me scared as well. So he decided to let me in the driving lesson class.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, and then I thought like it's not easy because you need to do like a written
Written
exam.
exam and uh-huh.
Actually, I'm happy like I passed, and then when the road test, you need to do the road test. I failed in the road test for I think second time. And I
Oh.
cried. I cried because I tried my very best. I thought I did it good, but it's
Uh-huh.
not. And then I cried like I think this is not meant for me because I tried so hard. I think driving is not really for me anyway. I'm not a good in location and direction, so I think this is not really work for me. I cried, and then my husband said like, "No, that's okay. Like I understand because he's very like encourage me to, that's okay. Like you can try. It's not like you cannot try anymore. Like you can try again and again until you get it." So I said, "Oh, I don't like that." What's that like what's that like a guy who talk you to, like an instructor or something like that.
Uh-huh.
Like I think he's so strict. Like just one mistake
Uh,
and then I failed. And then I have a friend. He said like he has this other guy and then he had three errors or something like that. And then he just talked to her and then let her pass. And then me, I just did like one mistake. Like like he don't give me a chance. Like, and then like, can you believe it? And the second time, it's the same guy, and then I failed it again. And then
but then on the third time, it was no longer that guy. It's a different
it's no
one.
longer that guy. And then he
And you
asked me,
passed.
and yeah, and then he asked me how I feel because some of my colleagues said like, sometimes it's not really about you, Sarah. Sometimes it depends on the person who did like the road test to you. Sometimes they are very very strict, and maybe it happened like that guy is
Mm.
very strict, like a little error made you feel. And I said, really? I think the topic said, hopefully, like the next one is a different one. And then I
Yeah.
got a different one, and then I made it. I did it. So it
All
really
right.
helped. Like,
So yeah, so that's a reminder to all Filipinas who are planning to come here and live here in the US. It's not something that Sis Darcy is scaring you. She's not scaring you, but she's just giving you a heads up of like what to expect so you can better prepare yourself. And if there's one thing that I can take away from this conversation is that to keep your eye on the goal. like,
Oh.
and that if, like, no matter what, you people are saying around you, like even the people that you thought that you can support you, I mean, who will support you, even if those people will say no to you, but you know for yourself what you really want, stick onto it, and then be
Mm,
prepared to pay the price. And because anyway, later on, you pay the price now, but then later on, you're gonna reap the rewards. Like, I
yeah.
have an instructor in college, sis Sarzy. Like when we were in as an accountancy student in the Philippines, they said just pay the price. 4 years, 4 years of no work. I mean, no play. Just focus on your studies, and then after that, you're gonna reap the rewards, which is true enough.
Mm,
That, yeah.
exactly.
So
Right.
yeah, and then also sister she shared to me that what really stuck to her while she was in the midst of the storm, of her life, was the motto of, like, poverty is not a hindrance to success, because this line she delivered it during her valedictory speech. So in her mind was like, I gave this speech to the people who were there in my commencement exercise, on my graduation day. So I need to be someone who would be an example of that statement of poverty is not a hindrance to success. So I'm gonna persevere, I'm gonna win, and she won. So, and then yeah, she's having a beautiful life now here in the US. But of course, it's not easy. It's expensive here. But if you have the discipline to how
Mm,
you're gonna deal with your finances, and of course work really hard to achieve your dreams.
yeah.
And to yeah, and to all the Americans watching, yes, it's a gamble when you take
A
your
big risk.
Filipina to the US. But you know what, just invest time in knowing the Filipina, because a good person that you will take from the Philippines to the US will still be a good person.
Mm, yeah.
So that she will not change, but will be enhanced for the better. Like me, I am not as assertive as I was coming here first in the US, but now I would say that I can assert myself more, and I can explain myself better. No more less tempo, because I know how to communicate my feelings. I know how to express my feelings into words. And yes, I felt so empowered as well, and I love the opportunity that I am enjoying here in the US, and something that you can give to your wife,
Mm,
like the experience here in the US. It's a beautiful country. Yes, you really have to work for the quality of life that you
yeah.
want, but what's nice is there's an opportunity.
Yes.
Yes. So thank you so much everyone for tuning into the live cast. I live stream. I hope you learned something from us tonight, and say hello again to our viewers, Sis Sarzy, Sis Korea's blogs. Thank you so much. Thank you, Charles. Thank you, Sis Rose is no longer with us. She went and go to her work. We
Oh,
also have Cool Daddy TV and Tita Jackie who's listening, and for sure my husband also listening or watching us.
and my
So
husband too.
yeah, and to your husband also, Sis Sarcy, thank you so much for letting Sis Sarcy have this conversation with me. Thank you so much, Sis Sarcy. This means a lot to me. And thank you so much, everyone. I hope to see you again next time. And in case you haven't already, please give this video a thumbs up and share this
Yes.
to your friends. Thank you so
And
much, and
again,
have
thank
a
you so much. Thank you so
yeah.
much,
Thank
sis.
you,
Like,
Sis.
for, like, I don't, like, I hope, like, I inspired someone, but you said, like, you do this, your content, like, with a purpose to inspire other people.
That's right.
So I said yes, because, as I told you before, like, before, like, you opened up to me, like, you did, like, kind of like a little change with your channel
That's
content. And
right.
when you said, like, a podcast, and I'm thinking, like, oh my god, I cannot believe it, because it's so funny, because I was thinking of you when I watched some of the Filipina did an interview, and I
Uh-huh.
said, I think Arlene can do it so good with
Aw,
this,
thank
like,
you, Sis.
because with your speaking skills, ability, because I joining your different lives when you did live before.
Uh-huh.
So when you told me, like I said, would you like to guess on my something like that, I was like surprised. Oh, she did it already.
Yes, this because I realized that it would this would be a perfect avenue for me because I like talking and I like inspiring people. So I thought, why not bring in inspiring people, and to my channel, and it will be a live conversation because nowadays it's so rare for us to have a raw and real
Mm.
conversation because it's so easy to edit and make it appear perfect.
Yeah,
So
it's really my pleasure that like you choose me as well as one of your guests in the podcast. So I wish you all the best on your
thank you,
channel, on
sis.
the platform that you choose now. So keep going. You did a great job anyway. So well done.
Thank you,
Thank
sis. And thank you
you.
so much,
Thank you
everyone.
everyone for
Have a
tuning
great
in.
night, to all of you. Have a great day to all my friends watching from the Philippines. See you again next time. Bye
Thank you.
bye.
Bye.